Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. This week I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the Bigfoot War of 1855.
And believe it or not, I didn't choose this episode.
I didn't learn about this in history.
They didn't teach us in history, you're absolutely right.
Probably a reason for that, but we'll get into it.
We'll get into that. We'll just thank some new returning listeners. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. YouTube is Apocalypse Bull. SoundCloud and Spotify and all your other podcasting platforms. Cutting to the Bull in the PTA. Where shall I start on this almighty list? Christchurch in New Zealand. Somewhere in Ukraine.
Go on, give it a go.
Kemalinsky.
I'll do.
Yeah, close enough.
Guadalajara, Spain. Bullhead City, Charlotte and Willoughby in the US. Zamora in Bobby Zamora, do you think that is? In the Mexico. Olympia and Sterling in the US. Amsterdam, favourite place of mine in the world. I'm sure it's a couple of yours as well.
I'm going there next week.
Lovely
Oh yeah,
city, isn't it?
fantastic.
Yeah.
When you open with that?
When?
Well, when you walked in the room before we started recording, why didn't you open with that?
I don't know.
All the doom and gloom and
All
no
the-
bloody cheer. I don't know.
Anyway, jealous.
Bring me back something nice.
Ann Arbor, Ashburn, Council Bluffs, LA in the US, Dublin in Ireland, Chicago in the US, Falkenstein in Germany is top. We've had, someone's been going nuts in the US. We've had a lot in the US this week.
Thank you to all listeners, yep.
Tell a friend, tell several friends. You know the drill. Just walk up to people and say, hey, no, you just subscribe to this podcast.
Check this podcast out.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I do it to taxi drivers.
And if you go on Facebook, on our Facebook page, you can see how beautiful we all are.
Well, apart from Pete.
Yeah, I'm the one that looks like a Bigfoot.
It's Quasimodo's uglier brother. Oh, no, he's not really. He's alright.
I'm pretty.
So
He's a pretty boy.
Used to be in my youth.
Just think of young Boris Karloff and you can't go wrong.
Are you saying a young Frankenstein? Frankenstein's monster?
Pretty much.
well, okay.
It's in the family genes. I can't help it.
You haven't had to put the fucking bolts on though, mate.
I was born with them.
They were surgically attached. You had cosmetic surgery.
That's all he needs for his Halloween costume. A couple of bolts on the side, you sort
Paint
this.
yourself green.
Somebody's going to get punched in the head.
Well, let's uncover the truth beyond the Bigfoot War of 1855.
Yeah, like you said, didn't hear about this one in school, did we?
Yeah.
I would have loved it though. How much would every child have fucking loved history if they kicked off with this in like year 7 like that?
Yeah.
Right then, children. Now we're going to get into proper history. The Bigfoot War. Hooray!
Well, in the annals of American folklore, few creatures have captured the public's imagination quite like Bigfoot. This elusive 8-foot being said to roam... Ape-like, what did I say?
Ape foot?
8 foot, what do you put he is?
8 foot, I thought you said.
Ape-like being said to roam the dense forests and rugged mountains of North America has been the subject of countless stories, sightings and debates. Yet, amongst the myriad tales surrounding this cryptid, one in particular stands out for its unique historical context and cultural significance. The little-known legend of the Bigfoot War of 1855, which allegedly pitted the pro-Choctaw Nation, how we go with that?
Choctaw, I think.
Choctaw Nation against a group of monstrous hairy beasts in what is now LaFleur County, Oklahoma.
So would that have been one of the latter indigenous tribes? Would it the American Indians?
I imagine it's one of them, yeah.
1855. Remember, you haven't had the American Civil War at this point, so
No.
America hasn't gone as west. It's had its little Indian wars.
Yeah.
But we're not into full-on, we're taking this from sea to shining sea.
I think they've reached California, haven't they, at this point? But
Yes, but it's a trickle of people
yeah,
going across the country.
There's still lots of land which is Indian land, isn't it?
So that would have been like one of the old Indian tribes then.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah. Okay. Trying to get a bit of context for it. So it's Wild West with the
not Wild West. No, that
Wild
was in
East?
the 1870s, 80s.
I'm thinking of like the actual location.
Oh yeah, it's in the west. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Oklahoma's kind of in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you are from Oklahoma, please correct us or don't.
But obviously, it's not very built up yet. Then is it?
Of course
Oh God,
not,
no! It's a few farms here and there. You've got some
Yeah.
towns. A lot of
Built
these
on the
pla-
East Coast, isn't it?
A lot of the East Coast, well, the 13 colonies, Mike, were built up and civilised, and the rest wasn't. And to fully appreciate the significance of the Bigfoot War legend, it is essential to understand the rich history and traditions of the Choctaw Nation, a Native American tribe originally inhabiting the southeastern United States. They were renowned for their prowess as warriors and hunters. Their skills on the battlefield were honed with centuries of intertribal conflicts, and later, through their participation in colonial-era wars and the American Revolutionary War.
So we're completely wrong. It's southeast.
Yeah. And that's where they were originally.
See,
They
I'm
were
shit
moved.
I'm really shit at American geography, I'm afraid. All I know is roughly where New York is and the Canadian-American border.
Right.
Hey, give me anything. Oh,
What
the
about
Mexican
Florida?
border.
Panhandle. Come on.
America's wing.
Genuinely, Cuba, yeah. I know where that is roughly.
That's in the Gulf of America now.
Yes.
It's been renamed.
Yeah, only to Americans though.
Doesn't matter. It's been renamed.
Yeah. It's not.
I love that.
It's not going to be recognised anywhere else. In the
I
world,
love the
though.
ego of that. To Gulf of America now.
It's funny, isn't he?
It's great.
He is funny. But yeah, my geography's terrible when it
No.
comes to America, so I haven't got a clue, I'm afraid.
Do you want to point out that everyone always points out the Native Americans as being lovey-dovey and hippie? They were really not.
Oh, they were a bit savage.
They
They
were
were.
savage.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Last of the Mohicans?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, that fucking amazing film, but just a bit of savagery in that, and that's probably not even close to how savage they really were.
They had some horrible tortures reserved for people, and as well as the scalping.
And I'm not saying they're savages, because that's how they were kind of branded, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was one of the things.
that was
I
the
don't-
way, that's the way you can get rid of them, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that, but they as a people, they were fucking savage. They were ruthless.
But they were not the hippy-dippy, go-lucky people. They fought each other all the fucking time.
Sitting smoking in a little tent,
Yeah.
in little wigwams.
You know,
Peace pipes.
and the
Yeah.
Choctaw were known for their sophisticated military organisation with a well-defined system of ranks and a strong emphasis on discipline and strategy. Their warriors were trained from a young age in the arts of tracking, stealth and hand-to-hand combat, making them formidable adversaries in the dense forests and swamps of their homeland. This martial tradition was deeply ingrained in Choctaw culture, with bravery and military success being highly valued and celebrated. Well, they're quite hard, aren't they? I think you could probably kind of say these guys are like the Spartans of the Native American Indians.
Born and bred
Yeah,
to be soldiers, essentially.
yeah, Claire.
Sound pretty savage.
However, their way of life was forever altered in the 1830s when the United States government, under the Indian Removal Act, forcibly relocated the tribe from their ancestral lands to present-day Oklahoma.
So it's north of Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, right, okay. And this traumatic event, known as the Trail of Tears, saw thousands of Choctaw men, women and children make the arduous journey westwards, facing disease, starvation and exposure on the way.
Oh, a good name, that is, the Trail of Tears.
No, if you say to me, do you want to pay Ben, do you want to go on the Trail of Tears? I'm like, nah,
Would I
you're
be
okay.
right in saying Dances with Wolves was of around this kind of era?
He's after the American... Is that after the American Civil War? I can't remember that film
Thought
that
it was
well.
during the Civil War, wasn't it? I can't remember.
You're literally, timeline-wise, you're 10 years out.
Yeah.
If the Bigfoot War's 1855, actually for 5 years out, it's the American Civil War's 1860, I think. 1860, 1861 it started, off the top of my head.
There's a lot going on over there.
There is a lot going on,
It was
you're
a
right.
busy century, wasn't it, to be fair?
It really was, because you got the Napoleonic Wars earlier.
The arse end of that, yeah.
That's like, it finishes in 1815, and then you have the French still kind of trying to stuff their stuff under against the Germans a little bit. Then you had the American Civil War, then you had the Crimean War, Crimean War was 1855.
But then mixed in with the Civil Wars, etc., you had the Indian...
The Indian Wars in America.
Indian Wars also.
American-Mexican Wars. American-Indian Wars.
Was the Civil War just North versus South?
Yeah.
You also had the slavery and
slavery
the
going
back
on.
end of that, and the people... Well, the people that tried to stop it. There was all sorts of shit going on all times, basically, wasn't there?
It was an interesting time in history, to be fair, because there was a lot going on in terms of, morals, ethics, war, medicine,
Dancing with Wolves is set during the American Civil War, 1863.
So it ended about 65,
Trying to get
if I remember
a
right.
picture of the time as well. Yeah, it's like gives a good.
So it is estimated nearly a quarter of the Choctaw population perished during this forced migration.
Jesus.
For the Choctaw to survive the Trail of Tears, the challenges of adapting to life in a new and unfamiliar land were immense. Stripped of their traditional hunting grounds and resources, the tribes struggled to maintain their cultural identity and traditions in the face of overwhelming adversity. Yet, despite these hardships, the Choctaw persevered, drawing upon their ancient warrior spirit to forge a new existence in the Oklahoma Territory. The issue is, when you're forcibly moved somewhere, there's also a bunch of other people who live there.
Yeah, right. We don't want people not from round here.
Well, this was the point I was going to make earlier. So obviously, we all know how savage the native Indians were, but is that purely because we were just like, this land looks nice. Nobody owns this. Hold on, mate. We do. Nah, you don't. We're going to kill you.
You haven't got a contract, sorry.
But you know what I mean? Was it because
They
they
still
were
had
just
war between tribes.
But were they just pure? Yeah, but it wasn't why I say we, the Western world,
The Americans.
saw them as savages. They saw them as savages because of the way they had interactions.
They
with
were
them,
savages
wasn't it?
because they weren't Christians. They were savages because they lived a different way of life. They were savages because of the horrible things they did to people that fell into their hands they didn't like. There's varying factors at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Mainly, probably at this point, because they're not Christians.
But do you think what I'm saying is, I think a lot of it was the fact that they just were like trying to steal their land, and it was like, hold on, get off my get off my back garden.
And most of the
What are you
time, when we see Indians depicted in Native Americans in the films, they're always sort of nomadic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, not all of them were like that.
No, they had
Especially ones on the East Coast, they had
proper
fixed abodes,
house,
yeah.
Well, in the Donner Party, there was one of the reason they were saved was because of a Native American Indian village that they stumbled into. So they were settlements as such.
I do want to watch Last of the Mohicans now, though.
I want to watch Dancing with Wolves.
God, have you got to spare 3.5 hours of Kelly Costner?
Yeah.
Should we do it? Should we do a movie marathon on the weekend?
Great films.
Yeah.
It's Costner though, isn't
No,
it?
it's fucking great. What are you on about?
Costner's a legend, man. He's a fucking brilliant actor. In all fairness,
Thanks, Pete.
he
Thanks.
didn't have an English accent in Robin Hood.
Field of Dreams was shit.
Well, not all of his films were hits. It was an okay
The Postman.
film. The Postman's a good film.
It's
I
not a
maintain
good
that's
film.
a good film like that.
I've seen that one.
Dystopian sci-fi.
There's a few good ones. Anyway,
Well, the story of the Bigfoot War is inextricably linked to the specific time and place in which it is said to have occurred, the Choctaw territory of LaFleur County, Oklahoma, in the year 1855. So by the mid-19th century, the Choctaw had been living in their new Oklahoma homeland for over 2 decades, and despite the initial hardships of relocation, the tribe had managed to establish a degree of stability and self-governance in their territory, i.e. killing all your neighbours and rivals,
You don't
presumably.
know that.
Whoa!
A degree of stability.
A degree of stability, as in, we've just moved into this tribe's neighbourhood, they don't like it.
Well, maybe
Let's
they
use
were-
our superior military tactics and training to wipe them out.
Well, you don't know they could have been uninhabited.
I'd imagine there was someone living there, some Indian culture living there.
You don't know for certain.
They could have just been, governing over each other.
Well, I mean, I think that when you move into a new area, you're always going to have someone who doesn't like the fact you just moved onto their land.
Well, the next sentence is going to totally blow your theory out of the water, isn't it?
The Choctaw Nation had its own constitution, elected officials, and a system of laws and courts.
So they're not...
Yeah, once you've taken out your rivals around you,
Well, maybe it was uninhabited.
maybe it wasn't. I love that you jump into their defence. Oh, they can't possibly do any wrong.
Well, I'm just saying, if they've got their own constitution, elected officials, and system of laws and courts, they're not quite
It doesn't mean-
barbaric
Yeah,
and
so did-
savage.
so
It's
did-
making out to me.
So did the Nazis.
That's a good point.
Quite some time after though, Ben. That.
It's always been around.
It's not that long after.
Not to that
Can't
degree.
compare them to the Nazis.
80
I'm
years
just
after.
saying, you're saying, oh, well, they've got a court and a government. He said, yes, so did the Nazis, mate. Doesn't mean you were good people.
Yeah, but you're not calling the Germans savage and barbaric. Well,
Yes,
actually,
I am.
Well, they were.
the propaganda of the time, yeah, probably, but...
I think there's a lot of evidence to back it up.
Well, certainly some members of the society, yeah.
Are you one of these non-believers that don't believe the camps happened? I'm joking. There was no Holocaust. What are you on about?
Summer camps.
Oh, yeah, and a swimming pool and everything. I can't believe people say that.
Man,
I've met one.
Didn't they have a jacuzzi?
have they not seen the film reels at the time?
No, that's all fake, Mike. There's a level of cognitive dissonance there that's incredible. It's all fake.
Mad, isn't it? How could you not believe that?
It's absolutely mind-boggling.
But yet, these people that believe in it more than likely believe in God. It wouldn't
Or a
surprise
flat
me.
earth.
Or flat Earth.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, I think, is more likely, and God just comes in the package of the flat Earth, doesn't he? And I remember saying to us, like, you know what? If my granddad was here, fucking hell. I mean, he literally he was one of the first guys into Belsen. You know, he was the KSLI. They liberated Belsen, the King's Shropshire Light Infantry, for anyone that's not from Shropshire. You know, and I was like, if he was here, I don't know, I think he'd just fucking punch you.
Well within his right.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with punching a Nazi.
Or a Holocaust doubter.
And they're a Nazi usually.
Is that what they call them?
Holocaust
Holocaust
denier.
Denier, sorry.
They're usually a Nazi. They're usually a Nazi apologist.
Right.
So I think it's... Anyway, the spectre of American expansion and the increasing pressure to assimilate into white society loomed large over the tribe.
Yeah, you should send the Indian kid. Native, I keep saying Indian, it's Native American, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you're a product of your time. They used to be Indians, now they're Native Americans.
Yeah, trying to be politically correct, but
I mean,
failing.
there was a time they called them Red Indians, you know.
Cowboy and Native Americans doesn't sound as good as cowboy and Indians, does it?
No, it doesn't. I'll give you that.
I used to love playing that as a kid.
Fancy a game of cowboys and Native Americans?
Well, they used to send the Indian kids to the
Christian
special
schools.
schools, didn't they? Yeah. Teach them to be...
Westernised.
Yeah, basically. Shocking.
Well, I don't know, teaching them English probably isn't a bad thing.
Well, I know, but...
Making them believe in our
Yeah,
ways.
Yeah, that's
no.
Well, yes, but
They used to
that's
say, our ways are right and theirs aren't.
but that's literally what every conquering culture does.
Yeah.
You know, you want the people not to be antagonistic towards you, so you teach them your ways. This is how the society works. This is how we say it works. Therefore, boom, this is how it works for you.
Yeah, but there was a lot of abuse and a lot of murders.
Oh
wasn't
God, yeah. Wasn't that happening in the fucking 70s and 80s in Canada with the Inuit kids?
Oh.
Anyway, as tragic as that is, we need to progress.
Yeah.
Lafleur County, named after the prominent Choctaw family of the same name, was a microcosm of the challenges and opportunities faced by the tribe during this era. The Lafleurs were of mixed Choctaw and French descent, and had long played a significant role in the tribe's political and economic affairs. Their influence and leadership helped to bridge the gap between the Choctaw and the encroaching American settlers, but also highlighted the complex and often fraught nature of these cross-cultural interactions. I don't imagine it's very fraught when you're stood there with a bunch of American settlers armed with rifles and you're just trying to communicate and they can't speak your language and they can't speak yours.
So let's just play this out. What happens if they hadn't have gone down the old tear road?
The Trail of Tears.
The Trail of Tears.
Well, they'd have been wiped out by superior American military armed with firearms.
Exactly.
That was it, wasn't it? It was guns.
forced to move, or you,
I mean,
put you in a camp.
They had guns, obviously.
Their way of life was threatened, wasn't it?
Yeah, but at the same time, when a bunch of heavily armed
soldiers come up to them, didn't they, and said, "Look, you've got to move.
Yeah.
What choice do you have?"
What happened if they hadn't come up to them? What would have happened then? They couldn't have just kept on living off the land, could they? Potentially, I don't know.
No, actually, it leads
it's
to
illegal, isn't it? They wrote laws now to say that they've got to be removed from the land.
Yeah, but if you're not part of them, thing is, the American government considered all of America, didn't it? Under the federal government, federal rule. But if you'd have turned around and said, if you're the Choctaw Nation, well, you know what, fuck you, we've got the best soldiers in the entire... And if we put out a call, maybe other tribes will join us. The American Army...
Maybe they could have done that, but I mean...
And the American Army...
There was Indian Wars, wasn't there?
There was, but the American Army at this point, in 1855, was fucking tiny. It was like 20,000 dudes, all on the frontier. It wasn't until the Civil War, obviously, they had to recruit the populace. But it wasn't considered a fantastic job, because you're stuck in a fort for 10 years on the frontier. Most dudes in the American Army at this point were alcoholics. So all they do was sit in a fort.
Keep an eye out, like.
Yeah, pretty much. And make sure no one's raiding or anything.
But still, I mean, it still outnumbers probably the Choctaws, isn't it? So the leaders have got a decision to make.
And it does.
Do we move, or do we stay and fight and possibly...
All die?
Yeah.
Well, I think they should have gone, this is Sparta, and kicked someone down a well myself, but... I think the largest martial gathering of Indians recorded was like the Sioux against Custer, and it was no more than like 2,000 or 3,000. They weren't sparsely, they weren't massively. There wasn't loads of them, was there?
No.
Plus, there were different tribes, weren't they, scattered about?
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned Bigfoot.
We're getting there. We're about to get there. It was in the context of change and uncertainty that the mysterious raids on Choctaw settlements and local farms began to occur. According to the legend, unknown assailants were stealing livestock, crops and other resources from the tribe and their neighbours.
Sounds suspiciously like Bigfoot.
Stealing livestock? He's run off a sheep under his arm.
I was thinking more of like a fucking cow.
Even more disturbing were the reports of women and children being kidnapped from their homes, vanishing into the wilderness without a trace. These attacks, which seemed to defy explanation, stuck at the very heart of the Choctaw's sense of security and autonomy.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
Why was it only women and children going missing, I wonder?
The men are probably fighting and dying.
Leaving the women and children on their
I
own.
don't think they were fighting anybody at this point, were they?
Well, I think if some massive hairy dude starts attacking your farm, and you as the man, you're going to try and protect your family, aren't you?
Or maybe the big foots. Is it big foots or big feet?
Sasquatch.
Plural.
The Sasquatch.
Might be Sasquatches, wouldn't it? I'm on about plural. Plural of Bigfoot.
I think
Bigfoots.
I think a Sasquatch is like sheep. It's singular and plural at the same time.
And Bigfoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd go with Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I think saying big feet is a bit weird. It makes you sound like Quentin
Sounds very
Tarantino.
Well, I think the Bigfoot would obviously choose to attack a child and a woman. It'd be easier to overcome than a man, wouldn't it?
He would have the dude launch himself at him with a tomahawk.
I thought they were vegetarian anyway.
Well, this is the other thing.
No, God no. What misconception what gave you that idea?
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a quality film.
Now there's a lot of evidence, so called.
Can you put air quotes?
Yeah, that's why I said
evidence,
so
please?
called. That you see bones that have been like proper fucking scattered and ripped apart, etc., etc. And it's like, well, there's no bears here. There's no. They tick off all the animals that could do that we know of. It's like, well, none of them are here. We don't have any of them here, so what is it? What's done that? Unless it's a human that's ripped apart a fucking elk, or you know what I mean? It's one of them weird things, isn't it? So the evidence that apparently is left behind does suggest they are meat eaters. And there is footage of them carrying.
Footage?
Yeah, blob squatch footage. But blob squatch footage of them clearly carrying things like a goat and things like that kind of thing.
I thought you were going to say like a spine and a skull like the Predator for a second.
No, literally like picked up like small fucking Shetland. I believe I heard one of a Shetland pony, if I remember
I've
rightly.
heard something like that, yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, it's one of them.
Well, I mean, who can say, to be honest? I had something in my head and I've lost it. So many people go missing in national parks.
Yes.
So
Never
many
found.
people.
Never
Thousands.
Never found.
Never found. There's a great documentary called Missing 411. In fact, I think there's a series of them. And it's like people who go missing in national parks and all of it's classified.
Oh.
Why?
Well, because
Because they don't want people to know about Bigfoot.
the US government do know about it, though. That's the thing.
Or it's something else. It's Bigfoot, it's aliens, it's the paranormal, it's the reptilians, you take your pick, but it's
the
classified.
military well aware of them, apparently. Like,
Yeah,
well aware.
funnily enough, I literally I was watching a video about paranormal occurrences in the military, and there was a particular American army base, and they knew the Bigfoots are about. They said they'd see them when they went to the firing range off the base, just sitting in the trees. And as long as you left them alone, you're alright.
Well, this is it. They're told explicitly, don't fucking try and engage with them because it will not end well. And that's what like commanders have told troops and that, because from what it sounds like, at some point they engaged with them and a few fucking soldiers got ripped apart and
Drunken soldiers going out, hey,
and the
Bigfoot!
Bigfoot got away.
Harry and
kind
the
of thing.
Hendersons, hey, come on, Harry, come out the trees! Kind of thing. Well, faced with the growing threat of the mysterious raids, the Choctaw leadership knew they needed to mount a swift and decisive response. Drawing upon their ancient warrior traditions, they assembled an elite group of fighters known as the Light Horsemen to track down and confront the raiders. That's not a bad name. Light Horsemen. Assemble the Light Horsemen.
Here's the thing, though, right? At this point, they haven't got a clue. They just think they're raiders. They don't know they're Sasquatch.
No.
No, of course not.
These men were chosen for their bravery, strength and expertise in the ways of the wilderness and were held in high esteem by their fellow Choctaw. I bet they got laid loads. I'm one of the Light Horsemen, baby. Leading the Light Horsemen in their mission was Joshua LaFleur, a respected figure within the tribe, known for his wisdom, courage and diplomatic skills. Obviously, he's of mixed Choctaw and French ancestry. His family, a bit of nepotism going on, I think. He embodied the complex and often conflicting identities of the Choctaw people in the face of American expansion. His leadership of the Light Horsemen was a testament to his commitment to protecting his people and preserving their way of life. And along him, and I'd go on this mission if I had these blokes with me,
Right.
because quite frankly, he's got the legendary they're called the Tubby Warriors, right? But they are a family of giant men known for their incredible size, strength and fighting prowess, standing at nearly 7 feet tall and weighing it over 300 pounds each. Now, mate, that's like taking a group of The Undertaker with you.
Yeah.
If there's ever been a group of Sasquatch hunters, that's it.
It's like you've got The Undertaker or Kane, and you've got like fucking 20 of the
A
bastards.
bunch of John Coffeys behind you.
Exactly! Yeah, I'll go on this mission. I think my chances of coming back are reasonably good here.
So I reckon I can run faster than them.
Certainly can run faster. Well, Andrew, they are known for their fucking physical prowess. Still,
Teletubby Warriors.
the Tubby Warriors.
We need to look them up.
Definitely. Now, together, this formidable group of warriors set out from the Choctaw capital of Tuskahoma, determined to put an end to the raids and bring the perpetrators to justice. Armed with their traditional weapons and an unshakable resolve, they rode out into the wilderness of the McCurtain County... Sorry, is that right? McCurtain?
Looks that way.
Right. McCurtain County wilderness area, following the trail of the elusive enemy. It says there, traditional weapons. I do know for a fact these dudes had some very large caliber rifles too.
They were the original burger founders. They made curtains before they made burgers.
Right. So as the Light Horsemen rode deeper into the wilderness, the sign of their quarry's presence grew more ominous. The once vibrant forest seemed to grow quieter with each passing mile, as if even the birds and the beasts were aware of some unseen danger lurking in the shadows. Then, without warning, the warriors were assaulted by a stench so overpowering that it nearly knocked them from their horses, the unmistakable odour of death and decay. And no one likes that. You know?
Horrible smell.
It's not what you want to encounter when you venture into a room, a forest clearing, anywhere really. It smells like death in here.
Someone in my toilet after you've been in there. Smell of death and decay.
I think you're over exaggerating. We all know my
no.
feces smells like roses. Pressing onward, the Choctaw soon found themselves in a small clearing where the source of the horrific smell was immediately apparent. Strewn about the forest floor were the partially devoured remains of dozens of women and children, their bodies twisted and broken in a grotesque how do I say that? Tableau?
Yeah.
Of violence and savagery. Among the grisly scene, 3 enormous, hair-covered creatures were crouched over the corpses, their muzzles stained with blood and viscera.
Ooh.
Well, I wouldn't be thrilled.
You'd be shitting it, wouldn't you?
I think, like, can we get a new pair of trousers, new pair of breeches up here, please? Mind you, I am over 7 foot tall and 300 pounds.
You'd be filled with anger, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't be happy. I'd also be crapping my pants.
Depends how big these monstrous beasts were.
Well, this is it.
I mean, if you're 7 foot but they're 10 foot.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an issue. For a moment, even the bravest... the sight of these monstrous beings, which seemed to combine the worst aspects of man and beast, sent a wave of shock and revulsion through the light horsemen. For a moment, even the bravest among them hesitated, struggling to comprehend the sheer wrongness of the creatures before them. But as the initial shock wore off, it was replaced by a burning rage, like the burning heart. Just about to... Rocky IV, best soundtrack. A burning rage, a primal urge to avenge the innocent and purge the land of this abomination. Oh, I fucking love it. Purge!
Your balls are tingling right now, aren't they? Admit it.
I'm fully erect.
I have been since we started.
Yeah, that's priapism, Pete. It's a dark condition you need to get looked at. With a fierce cry, Joshua LaFleur spurred his horse forward, drawing his pistol and sabre, traditional Indian weapons.
Half French, remember?
Ah, true. As he charged towards the nearest creature. The beast, caught off guard by the sudden attack, barely had time to react before LaFleur was upon it, his blade flashing in the sunlight. But even as the Choctaw leader rained blows upon the monster, it seemed to shrug off the wounds with terrifying ease, its hide as tough as oak bark. I say a sword's only good for as hard as you can hit with it. It's a slashing weapon, it's a cavalry sabre. It's not a stabby weapon. Should have gone for the edge. Sorry, should have gone for the point.
Yeah.
Should have just ran him through. No point slashing at his head.
Obviously not.
Poor swordsmanship.
Well, he's French, isn't he?
Well, there is that. Secondly, a sudden creature lunged from the shadows, its massive hand swatting LaFleur's horse to the ground with a sickening crunch. The warrior tumbled to the forest floor, dazed but unbroken, and immediately rolled to his feet to face his attacker. With a roar of defiance, LaFleur, Sacre bleu! I'm assuming. LaFleur emptied his pistol into the beast's chest, the rounds tearing through flesh and bone, but still the creature came on, its eyes blazing with a feral hunger.
Oh, shit.
The sword's not working, the pistol's not working.
Hang on, emptying his pistol, that's just one shot, isn't it, at this point?
Either possibly had a revolver.
Yeah, in
1855.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. If not, we're talking... Well, actually, saying that, we're talking 5 years of the Civil War. Most officers would have had some kind of revolver. How reliable they'd have been is... Who knows? If not, he's using a flintlock.
That's only one shot, isn't it?
That's one shot, and it's going to take you another 20 to 30 seconds to reload if you're good.
The way it's written, worded, it sounds like it's a 6-chambered pistol.
Maybe 4, maybe 6.
Yeah.
So this thing's fucking hard as fuck, hard as nails, isn't it?
Well, M16s, etc. can't fucking take them down by the sounds of it. That's what the American army would use, wasn't it?
The M16 or the A4, M4, sorry, nowadays,
I'm
yeah.
thinking maybe
5.56.
20, 30 years ago. What would it have been?
It's the same, 5.56,
Yeah.
M16 or M4.
Yeah. So yeah, if our nowadays weapons can't touch them, apparently, what chance have they got?
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess.
Well, as Lafleur and the creature grappled in a desperate hand-to-hand struggle, I can't say Lafleur without thinking of fucking Dodgeball. Peter Lafleur in it.
I also think of Ray Lafleur from Trailer Park Boys
Ah,
and Ricky Lafleur.
of course. Well, as they grappled in a desperate hand-to-hand struggle, the rest of the Light Horsemen finally sprang into action. I'm going to guess it's not the Tubby Warriors, it's the Tubby Warriors.
I don't get it.
Well, no, it sounds better than Tubby, doesn't it? Is it? Tubby Warriors just has a bunch of fat blokes there.
I mean, you're probably right. It would be like Tubby.
Yeah.
It'd be Tubby.
I don't know, it's
To
double
be-
B, double E, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're from Shropshire, we explode our bees, so it's what the accent.
I prefer the Tubby Warriors.
Fine. The Tubby Warriors, armed with their massive 50 caliber Sharps buffalo rifles, that's probably going to stop them.
More so, anyway.
Yeah.
50 caliber? What's that?
Oh, you look at what Barrett 50 cal, innit? It's a legendary sniper rifle. It's got kills from like a couple of miles away.
Desert Eagle.
How big's the bullet?
It's half an inch.
So, talking like that's how fat it is.
It can stop jeeps, and it's been known to bring down helicopters with repeated fire.
Got 12 mil, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like.
12 mil.
If I want to be pedantic,
11
I'm going to
point-
tell you it's 12.7.
Is it?
I think it is.
No.
12.7 millimetre.
It's about 24 millimetres for an inch, isn't it? Come on, Claire.
Well, either way, we're going
Do you have any idea, Claire? Because I
No,
don't.
it's for an inch, yeah.
It is
24.
24, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure
you've been cutting on a bandsaw and that, so...
illegally.
But yeah, I don't know anything less than an elephant gun if I'm fighting
This
these
is
fuckers.
the closest thing you're forgetting,
Yeah,
to be fair. Yeah.
It's the highest caliber they're going to have in them days, anyway.
Yeah. And they're probably going to be one shot. So,
Yeah?
a Sharps rifle, if I remember rightly, was a lever action. It was one of the first lever
So it
actions.
could have had
So
3
it's,
or 4.
no, it's literally a one shot, reload the
Oh,
next,
okay.
lever up,
Right.
action. So they took aim at the remaining beasts, their shots echoing through the forest like thunder. One by one, the creatures fell, their bodies riddled with gaping wounds.
Okay, so that's doing some damage.
Because I don't care if you're a Bigfoot, 50 cal's gonna fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Literally tear up a human in half.
I tell you what, Mike, here's the best example I can give you of a 50 cal's power. Do you remember Rambo when he went...
Not the last one, but the one before.
Yeah.
Rambo 4.
Yes.
Right? You know when he's on that machine gun
Yeah.
at the end and you see daylight appearing through people's bodies
Yeah.
and giant holes and arms and
That's
legs
50
getting...
cal.
That's 50
Flying
cal.
off.
That's what
enough.
it does to
It's
us.
very realistic as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's one of the most realistic depictions of a 50 cal. Because you've seen 50 cals in lots of movies, but they're never realistic. That
It
was.
was the most movie kills as well, wasn't it, at the
Yeah.
time? I don't
Was
know if
it?
still
No way. I thought Hot Shots Pod Durst still held the record for that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He kills like 400 dudes in one scene.
It even has the counter on it.
It does. I just like it when he grabs a handful of bullets and throws it at them and they all fall.
No, the chicken's the best
The
for
chicken,
me.
yeah, the chicken's great. But the victory was short-lived. To the Choctaw's horror, the creature battling Lafleur suddenly lurched forward, its powerful jaws clamping down on the warrior's head and twisting violently. With a sickening crack, Lafleur's lifeless body crumpled to the ground, his head torn clean from his shoulders. Oof.
Put a crimp in your day, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Enraged by the loss of their leader, the Tubby clan redoubled their efforts, pouring a relentless barrage of fire into the remaining creature, and finally the beast staggered and fell, its massive bulk crashing to the forest floor, in a cloud of leaves and blood. Metal!
Oh, yeah. Whole fucking thing's metal, isn't it?
It is really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Should be a movie about this. Sorry,
Did they
Clint.
get in there and like check them out, like the dead bodies and shit?
I guess so, because they're going to burn them, so... As the echoes of battle faded, the light horsemen stood in stunned silence, their minds reeling from the sheer horror of what they had just witnessed. The creatures, whatever they were, had been unlike anything they had ever seen or heard of before, a nightmarish blend of animal savagery and human cunning, and yet, even in death, the beasts seemed to exude an aura of malevolence, as if their very presence was a violation of the natural order.
Oh, there's a lot of reports that have that general feeling
Yeah?
when they've encountered them. Like, it's not just a fear of seeing them, it's something that's like projected from them.
Makes you shit your pants a bit.
Literally make you vomit, make you have like the most incredible headache you've ever had, like instantly. Like, will literally like terrify you like a fucking spell.
Is that just the smell?
It could be a mix of all of it. But
Because they are not going to smell good.
no, well, one of the names from Skunk Ape for a reason.
Why has no one taken a load of bloodhounds out?
Maybe
I
they
bet they
have. Maybe they have, mate, and maybe they've never come back.
No, there is that, yeah.
You know, it's one of them, innit? You don't know.
I'm not saying release the hounds, like, keep them on a leash.
No, but yeah,
Smithers.
yeah. But again, you might find that has happened. They followed a trail and then they've been fucking munched, and they're one of these missing fucking hikers.
Yeah. There is that.
Because if you're going hunting Bigfoot as well, especially anywhere past the last 5 years, because it's becoming a lot more.
Lots of amateurs doing it.
Yeah.
It'd be like if we went out in the woods and expected to come back alive.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you go Bigfoot hunting, do they go with a gun or?
I would hope so.
Fucking right.
Yeah. They go. Most
Are you actually
Americans.
hunting for it?
Yeah, they're going to try and kill it, aren't they? Have a trophy.
Most Americans, if they go in places like that, would carry a gun anyway for bears and things.
They carry
So-
it. I think most hikers, it's kind of a common rule, you at least carry a pistol.
Yeah. Because of bears.
Yeah.
Or cougars.
Or
things
cougars,
like that.
lynxes.
Yeah.
Or
Mountain lions.
Bear spray, isn't it?
Or bear spray, but I think most of them will carry a pistol. Also, if you do...
Well, it is America, isn't it?
But if you...
Yeah.
No, but think about it another way. If you fall down something and break your leg,
It's a good way of catching attention.
you can
as
fire
well.
a pistol in the air, can't you? Bring the people to you.
You can, or you can have a flare gun.
Or put yourself.
This
out
is
of
more
your own
complicated,
misery.
but yeah, you
That's
can
the
just...
first thing that come to my head. I broke my leg. Fuck!
End it, fuck it.
They're never gonna find me. I'm right next.
If you're not been speaking to Gaz, that's his fucking option for everything. So alien invasion, shoot myself in the head.
Might as well live through it and experience it, man. Fucking hell.
Oh, I'm just going to go out in a blaze of glory after 30 seconds. That's my plan.
So,
It's like my sex life.
same as your sex time.
Yeah.
You beat me to it, god damn it!
And that's the time it took to eat, and that includes the time it took to eat the pizza.
And take your trousers off.
Oh, what can I say? I'm a selfish lover.
Yeah, I'm happy. Who cares? I finished. Woohoo! I win!
Yep, gold medal. That's how it works, isn't it, right? If you ain't first, you're last.
I was always taught to come first. Hooray! Gold star for me.
Well, yeah.
It's my excuse and I'm sticking with it.
Now, gathering their fallen leaders' remains, the Choctaw set about the grim task of burying the dead and burning the creatures' bodies on a massive pyre. As the flames consume the monster's flesh, the warriors cannot shake the feeling that they had just brushed against something ancient and unknowable, a darkness that always lurked at the edges of their world, waiting for its chance to strike. Much like Cobra from G.I. Joe.
Big mistake to burn it, innit?
Yeah, I don't think they even had the thought of oh, let's keep this body for evidence, so the rest of the world for time will know that they do exist because we've just killed 3 of them.
Yeah.
Let's fucking scalp it. I'm a Native American.
I'd be taking
I'm taking scalps, mate. I
Take
just
the
killed
head.
Bigfoots.
Take the head.
Oh, alright, fucking alright, psycho. We can analyse the fur, Mike. Sorry, Claire, go on.
Make a
You.
good talking point
Foot,
over
like take a
dinner
rabbit's
party.
foot, don't you?
Yeah, but that's good luck.
Bigfoot, like
You know, Bigfoot said I can go to
gonna
fucking
say,
keys.
You put a rabbit's foot like on a little necklace, don't you? And hang it around your neck.
yeah.
Imagine that with a fucking 40-pound Bigfoot big toe.
It's a statement piece.
Bigfoot's cockroach your neck. It's a good luck charm.
That'd be up my arse.
Okay, well, I was going to say like that film, Your Highness, where Danny McBride has a monitor penis around his neck to show that he's the chosen one. Yeah, well, I was going for that.
Bigfoot dildo.
Well, first of all, you put a. Well, I think they have not got plaster casts at this point. Well, these guys haven't.
Damn, that foils that idea.
Yeah.
They should have sucked something. Surely that's just silly.
Yeah.
You said they should have sucked something.
They should have took something.
All right.
It's silly. It would be silly not to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, fucking right.
If
Even
that's
one of them
not
fucking
even-
canines or something.
Yeah, that's not human nature. It's hard to believe that they
His
would
hand
take
is an
anything.
ashtray.
This fucking skull is an ashtray, mate. You have to empty that once every 3 months.
At this stage, let's just keep the fucking body and preserve it.
Yeah, there's a lot to drag back, innit?
You got horses.
I know, but they're carrying 300-pound dudes.
Well, half them are dead.
Not all of them are dead. Well, as news of the incident spread through the region, the Choctaw found themselves grappling with a new and unsettling reality. The creatures they had encountered, which seemed to defy all known laws of nature, had shaken their understanding of the world and their place within it. Some spoke of ancient legends and dark omens, while others whispered of curses and malevolent spirits. But all agreed the Bigfoot War, as it came to be known, marked a turning point in the tribe's history, a moment when the veil between the natural and the supernatural had been torn asunder. Metal!
This does need to be turned into a film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. If it hasn't been.
Ah yes, in the years that followed, the Choctaw will continue to face challenges and hardships, from the encroachment of American settlers to the ravages of disease and poverty. But through it all, the memory of the Bigfoot War endured, a testament to the tribe's resilience and the enduring power of their warrior spirit. For the Tubby clan and the other survivors of the battle, the scars of that fateful day would never fully heal, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edge of the firelight. You tooting them aboard, Pete?
It wasn't a huge war then, was it? It was just a little battle, really.
Skirmish,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
skirmish. It's...
No, because let's call it a battle. There was one battle in the war. They won it. It's a war. Can't say the Battle of Bigfoot Creek or something, can you?
Kind of sounds cool though.
It doesn't sound bad.
It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
Now that would be a movie.
I thought it had to be more sort of like a war.
I was expecting like 15 Bigfoot at least, and like 100 men or something, but...
I always thought of wars where somebody like declared it against another, then
Oh,
they
yeah,
start
he did.
fighting.
He
but-
said, I declare war against you beasts.
I declare war.
Sacre Clair!
Oh, Sacre Clair! You know.
Oh, don't let me forget my cheese first, though. I
mean-
need some cheese before... Oh, no, I forgot my cheese. That's why my head is being bitten off.
It didn't help that he had a stripy jumper on and a string of onion around his neck.
No, he would have
That
been very
didn't help
tasty,
matters.
wouldn't he?
He was actually riding a bike.
With a little beret on.
Yep, that's exactly how.
And a little bicycle tash handlebar
Yeah,
fucking
he
tash.
he might have been a mime.
I'm amazed that he didn't immediately surrender.
It's a good point. Do you think that's because he had the
He was only half
Teletubbies?
French.
He had the Teletubbies
He
with
did.
him.
He did.
He had them. I mean, I can pose a right nasty cunt when he wants to be.
So do you think this is
Yeah.
where they actually based the Teletubbies from then? Because they were pretty fucking tall, and they must have weighed a good £300 each.
Oh, yeah. Them aerials out, though, didn't they, in terms of their height?
Yeah, but they did make them like 8 foot tall.
Terrifying. So, what do you think, then?
Metal.
It is metal, isn't it? Claire?
I don't think it was a war. I'm going to go with it. It was a little skirmish.
Find something to criticise, and that's what you criticise.
Anything can be a war as long as you call it a war and you win it. If you win it, you write the history, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so, but
You
that's
know,
just my opinion. But yeah, I'm on board with it. But
If they say it happened, it happened.
it happened, surely.
well, there is quite a strong tradition of believing in Bigfoots amongst the Native American culture, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sasquatch is a Native American name, or derived from it.
Well, they used to live in and amongst them, from what you're led to believe.
Yeah, but then you've got nasty ones. Have you got nasty ones and nice ones? Have you got your Harry, and have you got your, I don't know, Vlad?
Well, it sounds like it, doesn't it? You got ones that are a bit more feral, like probably the 3 there that were killed. So that might be an example of like almost like a feral tribe where they've not integrated with any kind of society, whereas there's been other ones.
He's done Bigfoots, they never integrate into society.
No, but there is
People coming
talk.
over on the boats.
No, there is. You can't say evidence, but there is apparent evidence.
Well, this is anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, but there's this an equivalent evidence of them integrating with tribes.
What you can say about the Native Americans is that because it's a tribal culture and they didn't do a lot.
Spiritual.
They didn't do a lot of writing down of their histories. It's an oral tradition, isn't it? Yeah, oral.
There's a bit of Chinese whispers involved, you think?
Well, that's the same with every oral tradition, culture, and history, though, isn't it? These tales are meant to be passed on through generation to generation and recorded as fact. This is how you. Yeah. But things must get changed.
Each person embellishes one little detail until 12 generations down the line, those 12 little details that have been embellished have turned a 4 foot little normal dude into a 12-foot fucking hairy gorilla man that's eating children. Well, actually, he only stole 1 piece of corn.
Maybe LaFleur panicked, his horse bolted forwards towards a Bigfoot and he was immediately decapitated, or he was screaming like a girl. And the rest of the guys were like, oh, well, gonna have to take these cunts down. With our 50 caliber rifles. That's possibly a bit I don't go for, is the weaponry involved.
Bison guns.
They traded, didn't they?
Well, they did, but them Sharps rifles, I mean, they were like... The reason that the North didn't equip their army at the start of the war with Sharps rifles, which were lever action and was faster to fire, because they were really fucking expensive.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, really expensive.
They probably have had their cast-offs, wouldn't they? Not the...
But to be fair, these Tubby warriors, if they were anything worth their salt, they were renowned, they were legendary, they'd obviously done their dues a few times. You can almost guarantee they've built some form of wealth to give them the ability to invest in
mercenaries,
really good
basically.
Weapons.
Like, hey, we're the Tubby warriors and we're the most feared, we're the Spartan 300.
Yeah, 100%. And that's well easily believable that could be the case. So yeah, that I can't see any flaw in that.
Oh, maybe they just fucking nicked him, I suppose.
They fucking probably snapped the guy that owned them. Like, snapped him in half, said, "I love your gun."
It's fucking. They just tombstoned him. That was it.
They're all like Andre the Giants, basically, aren't they? By the sounds of it, they're not far off.
You're certainly talking Undertaker was like 300. Kane was 300 pound-ish. Maybe bigger than, so they might be bigger than them because they weren't 7 foot. They were like 6'7", 6'8". You're still going into battle with a bunch of Undertakers.
Yeah. That
are potentially bigger
and not fanny actors.
They're not
actual hard motherfuckers.
He's a hard motherfucker.
Hard man.
Every wrestler's a hard motherfucker because over the years,
right, yeah,
them 100%. Fucking injuries all build up. I mean, he did his hip in when he was like 22. If you notice, he walks the fucking limp a lot. He just really disguises it really well.
I've got respect for wrestlers as athletes, but it's the bullshit that goes with it.
It's a soap opera for men.
That's exactly what it is, and I just can't get into it.
A couple of dudes come out, badmouth each other. You'll never win the title. Then they have a fight. And it's completely over the top and outlandish. And it's just wonderful. Now it's on Netflix, I've really got back into it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, on that note, where are we then, Mike? You haven't said your piece yet.
Well, what can I say?
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
No, not really. I'm on the fence technically, but 99.9% I'm off the fence and it's bollocks. It's got to be.
Why has it got to be?
Because it's just too unbelievable, isn't it?
Human nature, you'd take a trophy home, especially of something that you'd never seen before.
You want that bit of renown, don't you?
Yeah,
and you
especially
ride
if you're
back
part
in.
of a tribe.
Yeah, and you're one of the best warriors. You ride back into town with a fucking load of Bigfoot cocks around your neck.
Is that why? Because there's just like, you know.
Or the fact that they're quite respectful,
Well,
maybe?
there's no evidence.
No, there isn't.
It's just hearsay, isn't it? It's just
Anecdotal
stories.
evidence.
I
Yeah.
think it's just a nice story, isn't it?
Nice story.
It's a
Yes,
nice
a lovely
little
story,
story.
Bunch of women and children like eating me.
Someone gets
Younglings.
decapitated. No, it's metal as fuck, but, you know,
Is it just a story?
I think that's what it is, personally. I may be wrong, but I doubt it.
There is 1% of you that thinks, okay,
I'll never rule anything out completely.
so one of your pubes is off the
There we
fence.
Only a pube, not even a buttock.
I'm taking it you believe it, Pete.
No, I don't believe it. I don't disbelieve it. I'm 50-50.
50-50.
It's one of them. I'd like to think it was true in a sense, but at the same time I'd like to think it wasn't true because 3 innocent Bigfoot got killed,
They were quite nasty Bigfoot though.
along with lots of innocent women and children, so that's the nasty side of that story. So I would hope for that reason it's not real, but at the same time I hope it's real because I want Bigfoot to be real.
Right? And Claire?
So you want Bigfoot to be real, and they slaughtered loads of women and children?
I want Bigfoot to be real because
He's reluctant, isn't he, aren't you, to believe it for that.
yeah.
But
I
you
want Bigfoot to be real, but not like I was saying. You'll get like a feral tribe that are a bit nuts, whereas the vast majority of them are civilised in their own rights and not just bloodthirsty killers. But at the same time, there is a lot of evidence to point at that they are actually very fucking dangerous. Keep well away if you come anywhere near one, because they might eat you. And all the missing people in the woods, etc., could point in that direction as well. But yeah, 50-50.
If you're going to tell me that cryptids exist, right, I'll go, okay, I don't believe in any of the rest of them, but Bigfoot, I think there's a fucking chance Bigfoot exists.
Well, Bigfoot did exist.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think there's still, I don't know how many,
It's
you know what I mean? But the North American wilderness is massive. It's bigger than England, it's bigger than the UK. 2 or 3 times as big, it's massive. It's probably even bigger than that. And if you guys think something's going to hide in there, then yeah, fully, totally agree.
An offshoot from Gigantopithecus
Yeah.
that went the same way as the other monkeys,
Yeah.
humanoid, like we did, but they kept a bit more monkey in them.
Yeah.
And they were Gigantopithecus,
Yeah.
not the normal monkey like we were.
Yeah, so if you're going to say, like, the only cryptid I think could possibly exist is Bigfoot. To my knowledge, obviously I don't know every cryptid in the world, but if the big ones, yeah, it's Bigfoot. So for something like this to happen, yeah, maybe it did. Who knows? It is anecdotal evidence, but that is the way that tribes preserve their heritage and culture and histories. They're usually reasonably accurate, because that's the point. But obviously embellishments do happen, depending on the individual. I like to think that it's true, man. I think it was metal as fuck. I mean, it probably didn't happen, but I like to think
Like
it
I
did.
said, Gotta make a
you see
film
where
out of
I
it.
am pretty
Yeah.
much. I'm 50-50 on this one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You want to believe it, but you kind of don't. But you feel like you should, maybe, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how cool would it be if there was? How cool would it be if there was a secret, like, special forces task force hunting down shit like this? That's cool.
there might be.
Task Force Phantom, apparently.
I want to join it.
It's the best of the best of the best, Pete.
No problem.
1% from the SAS, Delta Force,
No
or the
problem.
Tier 1 operators.
No problem.
1% of them gets through.
No problem.
Alright, well, we'll hold you to that. In 2 years' time, Pete, I expect you to be hunting Bigfoots as part of a Special Forces task
I'm on
force. Cracking, right, that time machine we were waiting for.
How do you know I'm not already part of it?
Because you sat here with us.
It's my cover.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. That's exactly what it is.
No going back in time and killing a Gigantopithecus
Yeah.
and bringing us evidence
But we're
of
still
that.
waiting for the fucking time machine, Mike.
Well, yeah.
He told us he was on it 6 months ago.
Hey, these kind of things take time, you know. I'm getting there. Got
Sorry.
a wheel so far.
Demand results. A wheel and a hamster, mate, don't count. Can't put a Cullinger on your head, get an N64
I haven't
and a
got a
hamster on a
hamster.
wheel.
I haven't got a hamster yet, just the wheel.
No.
Come on, give me a chance.
Alright, well,
We want that Bigfoot cock.
I bet you do.
you want that.
I bet you
Bigfoot
do. Oh, I want that Bigfoot cock. Oh.
It's my line.
car. That is too fair. Claire, would you like to say
You
your
can have it
line,
after
please?
I finish with it, Claire.
Oh,
Sloppy seconds on Bigfoot.
Christ, I hope you're washing it.
Wash it with me spunk.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This just gets worse and worse, I do apologise, listener. I try and maintain some decorum, but clearly Michael here is incapable of it. And on that note, I've been Ben. Thanks for listening. Don't drink the flavour aid, don't join the call.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
I've been Claire. Thanks for listening. Don't
Don't take sloppy seconds on
Don't
it.
take
Big
sloppy
cock.
seconds. Yeah, off a Bigfoot.
I like the way you said that quite sexually at the end. Bigfoot cock. I've been Pete, yeah. I kind of want Bigfoot to be real, so I hope it wasn't a nasty woman, child-eating murderer.